much energy one way or another. And like sex workers, like it's illegal, but um, there is such thing that when um, a woman with a man and she births baby to a man will have to take care of a woman, and a woman will have to take care of the child. How that is not an exchange of energy, and the child is from both parents, so it's a shared, being. In many cases, men, it's very, very sad, men don't take this full responsibility, the fact that it's like equally, his as much as hers, even though it came from her body. He is contributing 50%, but many men don't feel, even strong men that I've talked with, they don't feel energetic responsibility for that. I don't know why I'm raising this particular topic.
No, it's very interesting because the topic was raised earlier today in my
Yeah? Oh, interesting.
in a different way, but it's very synchronistic actually.
Wow. Were they pushing you a little?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And pushing me a little bit, and then somehow it's that particular topic was raised, and basically what I have to say is that sometimes it's maybe for the best if the man is not wanting to partake.
Wow. That's a big statement. Okay.
Sometimes, in certain cases.
Yeah.
It depends. It's basically something my parents said that I actually agree with. It's that the child is a woman's child.
Wow. Yeah.
First of all,
Wow.
because that's just that basically a woman can have a child and a man can just never know if a woman wants it. So.
Okay.
Well, isn't that's possible? It's not possible for a man. A man cannot have a child.
Good point.
A woman would.
Yeah, unless they use other woman's body for that, for like gay couples.
Yeah, that's obviously that's different. Yes, but that's but like even that, even imagine if a woman can still say like that scenario, right? With a gay couple, a woman can be like, "Oh, I lost the baby, no baby," but she actually has it.
I see.
So it's like I don't know what to think of it. I don't really have a strong opinion of it either way, but it's just I think it's interesting to think about.
It's true. It's very interesting. And I think
yeah.
Go ahead.
Obviously, there's still like that man's DNA and whatnot, but it's like, but the man himself never has to know. Like it's possible.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's going to be a big topic in the future of I'm sharing you this. WEF, World Economic Forum, leader, as you know him, the name, and he asked for all pilots to be clean from the okolchik when
I heard that.
UK.
I heard that too.
Okay.
I heard that too.
And that's public information.
Yeah. That's weird, right?
It's just like, what the hell? Why would that happen? And you're still promoting the thing, and you still don't want, just like your people to fly on the pilots. And then I'm thinking about like, wait, all pilots are like basically that. So like when I'm flying, I have definitely a risk. Better be good AI there, like doing the autopilot thing.
right?
Let's invest in that
Right.
instead.
Yeah.
So that's sad.
No, yeah, I heard that too, and I was like, oof, okay, that's.
Yeah,
I don't even know what to think about that.
no way.
That's
I mean,
very.
either. Yeah. But generally, have you followed anything that is happening on the forum right now at all?
Not really, not super closely.
Yeah.
Is it over or is it still going?
I think it's still going, or at least
Oh
like
God,
side
it's long.
events. Yeah, it's like a
How long of
week
it?
or something. And there is no snow anymore there, so usually during this time it's still snowy. I mean, we're still in winter, right? It's still second, yeah, second month of winter, in a way. And yeah, and there's no snow. And I looked at the agenda, and yeah, I'm just on the website sometimes, just checking it. They are streaming certain things. The reason why I am actually listening to it, and not even to know, I mean, of course, I'm listening and I get to see this information, but to learn the language that they communicate, this like, this language, because it's not quite like political language. It's not the same, because they're entrepreneurs, um,
Yeah.
but it's very interesting for me to get exposed to this. I'm learning a lot. Yeah, and also it's like a lot of Europeans are there, and since I'm moving to Portugal, back to that topic,
Hmm.
I wanted to make sure I know the language, because what I realized also, I'm so Americanized, and people really perceive me as American because of my accent and because of the way that I talk. But
Oh yeah,
it's
for
it's
sure.
it's not quite good, I have to say. It's like my status is not like much higher in either of my identities. In Prague, people are like, okay, like sure, you're American because of the accent, and like we hate Americans. And then when I actually say my
They do.
nationality, yeah, they don't like. And then when they say, and they really don't actually. And then when they know that I'm, my nationality, that's like extra points, minus points. Obviously. So it's funny. And then they have this cognitive dissonance because I am really nice, when I'm not online, you know, and then there's a
No, no, I
cognitive.
know, I know.
Yeah, and people think like, oh, wow, this what's happening here? Who is she? And I say, yeah, it's Portugal. I've lived in Portugal. But like to come back to that idea of Portugal, I don't know if I told you this. Like when I flew in October back to Portugal, I was staying with my big suitcase on a bus stop to take a public transport to my home, and I don't know why I decided, but like okay. And then there's a couple sitting down, the Portuguese. I didn't tell you my meeting, right, about this meeting.
I don't think so, no.
Okay, so they're like, why are you here? We don't like the fact that you all are coming here, you know. And they're like, we're leaving between Portugal and UK, and Portugal becomes unbearable because of the amount of immigrants, and you guys come here and you do nothing, and you use all the stuff that we've
Wow.
built. I mean, it was hard for me to receive, but then they told me about free energy and conscious community, so they were like kind of like getting nicer and nicer. And when I asked their number, they didn't give me their number.
But I don't get it. If they have free energy, what's their problem with immigrants?
That's true.
If they have free resources, like
Yeah.
why not share?
Yeah,
But
right. Yeah, it's funny, but it was more about the overall state of the country accepting so many immigrants, while because we have more money than the locals have to leave their homes, and we will take over basically the whole housing market, and we're also taking over the affordable food, because basically what's happening in the city is that instead of these affordable supermarkets, there are more fancy supermarkets that are more organic. And so actually the city is becoming more organic and more like expats driven. A lot of these Americans that are used to some subscription services and like spending their discretionary income on some, like, I don't know, interior items, stuff like that. So there is a lot of businesses in Portugal right now, in Lisbon specifically, that are opening specifically for expat community. But that also takes away from the businesses that are more affordable again for the locals. So the locals live in a very
Right.
unhealthy way, and you know, it's like it's like a great example of actually what's happening around the world. Like it's cheaper to use out unhealthy, or sorry, yes, it is cheaper to be unhealthy than obviously healthy. But another thing is that these businesses are being opened by the entrepreneurs that come there, like myself, because I have to have a business for my, either to be employed or to have a business in order to, immigrate or have at least like a permanent residency. And I'm thinking about business a lot right now because I actually am running out of time. I need to apply while I'm here, and I'm writing a business plan, and I'm just thinking about subscription model, like what we talked about, like supplying white label fashion. And my market specifically is expats, like because I know that there's so many expats, but there are so many people like me also
Well,
opening
but
this type of thing.
like wouldn't it then be better to um like make your target market the locals?
Yep,
Wouldn't
that's
that be
it.
more? Wouldn't they like it more?
Exactly, and that's the thing. And I'm trying to figure out that I'm having a missing, like I literally don't know what that would be. Like what would the locals actually need? And I don't think I can judge, and I don't think I can know unless I really live there for a while. Right now, the locals
Yeah,
need
that's true.
need to be seen.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if that exists in Portugal. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I don't know much about Portugal, but I've heard that in Italy. I it was a few years ago, so I don't know if they're still doing that, but I think they do. Is that they have this program where they have some, specifically in the north of Italy, they have these areas that are like the rural areas
Mm-hmm.
that basically like a lot of Italians, a lot of people left, and they're just like really
Empty.
economically depressed areas,
Yeah.
right?
Interesting.
And so they're offering for foreigners to come in, and like they basically will give you free land and like a free like old house of some sort. Like it's
Yeah, yeah,
not going
yeah.
to be
But you have to
like a
renovate
good
it, but
house with
still, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
but they basically will give you free land, free like I don't know. In some cases, like some old castle, that
Mm-hmm.
you have to do a lot of work on, but then as long as you can like kind of build something there and like kind of rebuild that community in that specific area, they give you like a visa residency.
Mm-hmm.
It's very easy, but you have to specifically go to that area and to
Yeah.
like develop that area for the locals so that like people kind of come back there because they have a problem that so many people left that area and went to I don't know Rome, Milan, whatever.
Interesting. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard that as well, but specifically with the like old buildings in Lisbon, they would basically give it or like sell it for €1, but you have to take care of the building, and
Yeah, similar.
that's
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and but for my nationality, they don't let that anymore. The golden
Uh,
visas. Yeah,
so there is restrictions. I
yeah.
guess I heard like stories of Americans who went there, but
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So maybe the business can be around I don't know. I don't want to do business. I mean, just sorry. I just don't want to do the business. I don't want. I don't know why. I just don't want to. I don't know. I'm good in consulting. I'm good in like talking to people, but I like in terms of operations, it's just I don't know. And the point would be to hire people, but the thing is, I don't want to manage people. I think people don't like to be managed generally. They like to be
yeah,
supported.
no, they don't. They
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, that's the thing. And another thing, they don't like to be under somebody's brand. That's why I talk about white label.
That's true. That's true. Maybe you can think of also a way to make it like like a cooperative where
Yeah.
like all the workers are, are sharing the profit.
But the
So in
problem
that
with
way, it's a business, but
this
they're
is
not
like a
just working
DAO,
for you;
right?
they're working for
The
themselves.
cells. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I think everyone in the DAO also wants that in a way, or whatever DAO or
Well,
co-op.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
there are still it's that's the nature of it. There are some people who work a lot, okay, and some people who work a little, and it doesn't mean that somebody's more talented than another. It's just some people are like really overworking and overdoing it, while others have like more relaxed way of being, and that's okay. And that's the thing, like, okay, but how do we measure that, if we have to measure something, or it will be still the salaries would be split. I just that's I mean, I don't think anyone has the answer for it. I think it's more like the psychology of people than it's hard to design around this.
yeah. When is your deadline? Like, when do you need to come up with something by?
Tomorrow is yeah, tomorrow is already Monday. I'm picking up a document, my from the MVD, meaning like it's a police clearance. So it's only available for 3 months. I had to do it again last time. I wasn't able to come up with a business idea, I guess, strong enough to apply. But I have to do it like this week, so that I'm actually here in in this place for not too long, and it takes about a month or maybe two, so I don't want to be stuck here for more than that. And I already been here for like 2 weeks. So it's soon, but I still don't have a business plan, so I don't know. It has to be so simple, I mean, like, I know how to write business plans. It's not my first one, and my lawyer, my immigration lawyer, says like, you're fine, don't worry, like, don't overdo it. I just want to come up with something very simple.
Yeah, I agree. Simple is best. I think you have the right idea.
Do you think it has to be with like, okay, it can be with fashion, because in the beginning, like, it's obviously easier to do fashion, and it has to be with like white label, something like co-op, like where we support like local factories and local producers and connect them with stores, something like
Yeah,
that.
and I think it would look good because you have experience. So
Yeah,
it's not like you're
exactly.
out of nowhere coming up with
Yeah,
some
yeah.
random idea. It
And
would look
since it's like a
последовательно, you
последовательно,
know.
yeah, it's true. And since it's a Portuguese only business for now, like for example, then
Mm-hmm.
then in Portugal, like, cryptocurrency is illegal that way, and yeah, we can just like add up to the fact that you can basically, if you'd like, you can choose to pay in crypto if you'd like, if both parties agree.
Yeah, if that also makes you look more
Yeah, it does,
appealing
because
to them.
they want, for startup visa, they want people doing startups in technological stuff. They want that. That's their goal.
Yeah.
Um, so that. But you
Yeah,
know how I
interesting.
feel about generally cryptocurrency these days. I haven't found one currency that I would like to own. It's a big one, big statement, but it's true. I don't believe in any of the currently existing ones, and I was bullish on the social media thing, and I've been basically lied to. So how can this be a success story if I don't fully believe in this? Um, I was listening to Edward Snowden, and he's been very supported by this crypto industry back in the days in 20 by 2014, 15, 16, I believe they've been supporting him. So he's a
Mm-hmm.
crypto rich, I'm assuming.
Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from him in a while,
Oh,
actually.
he just performed a couple of, I think, I don't know, a month maybe ago, at one of those, I think it's Decrypt conference, one of those Web3 conferences. And
Mm-hmm.
he showed up online because he's stuck where I am. And yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. He performed.
You should try to get in touch with
I
him.
know, right? I mean, you're reading my mind.
I
You
mean,
know.
I would be trying to if I were you. I would be.
Okay. I think it's not that hard. I mean, it's hard, but I think it's doable. Like, I, yeah. you know,
It's hard, but I think it's
like
probably
I would
possible.
probably know someone who knows him. That's all I can say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. Oh well. New friends. I love new friends.
Yeah. Keep me posted if
I
you like.
will.
That would be so epic.
You'll
I mean, I
know.
just think it's such an interesting person.
He's really cool. I'm big fan. I
Yeah.
really love the timbre of his voice. I'm not even exaggerating.
Me too. Yeah. It's very good. It's very good. Oof, wait, I had some other thoughts that while you were talking about. Oh yeah, I just wanted to say it's like I think Paulina was talking about it as well in like some of her videos, so maybe even in the book, how like there's this big sentiment of like people I don't know, it's like turning on each other, but it's
Oh
just
yeah.
like very tribal,
Oh yeah.
becoming very like
Oh yeah.
so that's why it's so like anti-immigrant in many places.
Yeah.
And even I was saying even within the United States, it's like people in Colorado don't like
Yeah.
people from California coming in, and it's just like what? To me, that's yeah, I don't like it, but I guess she did predict it, and we're seeing it more and more.
Yeah. Tribal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I write about this a lot. I updated my website again because this idea of tribalism and tribes generally. I believe we will live in the time when countries wouldn't be so relevant as much as these network states slash tribes. Yeah, and basically it will be much greater influence. I think that's the ultimate thing. That these network states slash tribes will be more will have more say uh, in economy, yeah, in monetary stuff, and eventually in law, in policies. Um,
But is that good?
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I believe that it depends, of course, of the tribes and their leaders and their leading, people, for sure. I do believe it's good in the beginning, before governments will start to listen and start to transform. I mean, look, not every single say DAO would be nice to have as a network state, but I'm very very big right now researching these network states and actually participating in their meetings. So I do believe that the people have very good intentions, very clear. I sent you a link to this Telegram channel that I think I mentioned it to you, that I had a very good time there, and it was
Oh
like
yeah, you sent
Clubhouse.
it, but I couldn't really understand it. I guess
Yeah,
I need to like
I didn't
um
understand it either. I just joined. I think they have every Friday night in yeah, Friday night morning here, and Saturday 4 a.m. here. So yeah, so it's like they have every week a meeting. I was there only last week, not this one. I missed it, even though kind of regret it, because I had a good time, a good people. We exchanged thoughts very well, and I think because I'm only in touch with you, but I'm not really in touch with a lot of Americans generally, and very smart people, very exactly. I mean, we there's a reason why America is the way it is. um, there are educated people. Like, it's a huge gap, of course, but on the scale of the from 0 to 100, there are a lot of people who are like on 99% that are really really cool. Like, I mean, including Elon Musk, for example. He's Canadian, but including like Lex Friedman, right? Out of these like people who I interview, and Joe Rogan even. um, this is cool.
I have questions for Lex Friedman.
Why? Wait, what kinds? Tell me. I mean, he's not
Well,
American, he's also Metaslav.
he is, which is, but I think he's just a little bit, just something about him is, I don't like, he's a little too naive, maybe.
Oh
Like, I think
wow.
he's also very like democratic. I think I already told you, like, he seems like a
Yeah.
little too. But I do have I guess, a soft spot because he is our people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do.
Yeah, but he's technocratic. Look, he works at the MIT labs. right? I think
Yeah.
that's what he does. And MIT specifically, yeah, it's been known for being like overly intensely technocratic and development of all of these robotics and stuff like that. It's like this, if you have the Silicon Valley and you have the MIT, so MIT is more of like an incubation, and then Silicon Valley is more like, you know, people just go there to make money out of this whole thing.
Oh yeah.
But I don't believe that Silicon Valley is going to be a thing anymore. I think um, in Europe, what is happening with technology developments, and specifically in Prague, I mean it. It's it's big. We you know it's big. We're quieter. We are not as loud as Americans, so we can't raise as much money, and that's a problem because literally like, you know, if like okay, new foundation whatever, they were able to raise only 1 million, and there's like some shitty, I'm sorry, but yes, there are some shitty technologies out there like that are just on the level of idea that raised 15 million plus, or like,
Wow.
yeah, it's just not yeah. And I'm looking at these like, you know, people who raise so much money, and including fashion tech startups actually, and I'm like, wait, do you even know how to use this money, you know? Like the biggest problem in spring was the fact that we literally abused the amount of money that we had. We had, I believe, like
Oh
the last
yeah.
round was like 25 million, and we had okay 200 people, and we had a big office, and we were paid, I know I was paid very a lot compared to maybe my other fashion career, um, and I didn't have that much work to do actually. So you know how it is, like all developers sit there and they okay they spend maybe 2 hours coding, and maybe 2 more hours like learning about code, which is you know, you're literally learning, you know, at work, and that's like
That's
normal
nice.
thing, and then 4 hours, and
Yeah.
then the rest time we'll just hanging out, pretending to work, pretending to learn, and hanging out mostly because I just mostly see people just having a good time in the kitchen area, cafeteria. And it's like not meetings, they're just hanging out because they're good people working because of the good yeah, like what I loved about spring was that like amazing people, like all of them are friendly and nice, and you know, no fashion vibes where there's like already tribalism within the company.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mean tribalism I think is natural, but it's
Yeah.
just now taken its
Next level.
such an ugly form sometimes because it's when you're like including certain people, you're also excluding, like by
By
definition,
definition,
that's
exactly.
exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you believe
I don't
that
know.
there will be some kind of really like the internet will be breaking down in all these different tribes, and we wouldn't have access to certain websites? And I mean, it's already happening without VPN, but
If
like the
if the
online.
internet breaks down, I think most people will adjust pretty fast. I actually
Mhm.
think it won't be as bad as as it seems.
Yeah, in our heads. Yeah. Yeah.
I think most people would be fine, and it actually would be good.
Mhm.
Like it's just that's why I don't think it would happen quite like that.
Mhm. And I think we'll still find a way to find each other eventually, right? If we do
Yeah,
get lost touch.
yeah.
Because now I'm like thinking about it. What if I don't have access to you anymore? Like what would be the way to regain, like reconnect? What would
Well,
be our like backup?
well, instead of my phone number, you could just call me on the regular phone.
Mhm. Mhm. So
Like that
the
would
next
be
step
step
would be
one.
right, the writing down the phone numbers somewhere
Yeah.
on the paper somewhere, and the second
Mm-hmm.
step would be knowing the addresses, or at least addresses of our friends. Like,
Yeah, we like yeah. I should. I mean, you've been to my home, but I can also send you the address. You can
yeah,
always just send me like a letter. It will work.
but you know how you and I in letters. Maybe it will be delivered, but will be definitely reread. And I mean, it's not that I care anymore, but I definitely cannot send you anything that is like of value.
Yeah, but it will still still be able to get in touch and at
True.
least like figure out
Next steps. Yeah.
next steps. Yeah. Maybe we should come up with a code. Let's get really
Whoa, what do you mean?
like you know, like spies. They have like they speak in like
In code.
it's like in code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know how it works. I don't
Yeah.
know much about it, but
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
people do things. I think
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. People, I think, would
We'll figure it
find
out.
a
We'll get
way.
creative. Yeah.
Yeah, people would adjust, but I don't know. What do you think?
So what I did on one of the groups that is local to Prague, I specifically said that I said that if some things go down, let's meet in Parallelny Polis. That's the Web3 location, like a co-working spot. Let's meet there or next to it. You don't have to have keys to enter, and you just can just that's the meeting point. At anywhere from 3 p.m. to 12 a.m. anytime for any of these numbers. And yeah, to just support each other, and if something goes down, and we'll know when is that day, so we'll just know that this is community spot check-in. I think that's nice.
That's perfect.
We
But I
don't
also
have
don't
that
think
in New
like
York. Even New York has so
yeah
many public spaces, like you can just meet and like figure out what to do next. But no, in New York we got so scared. Nobody was talking like in person. Everyone's just online. I So painful.
Well,
So painful.
I remember in New York when Hurricane Sandy happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what year that was, but my power went out somewhere in the middle of the night.
Okay.
And then I just went, and when power goes out, I learned that day you also don't have phone, you don't have cell service, and you don't have water, you don't have toilet, you have nothing.
Right.
I went to sleep, and then I woke up the next morning and realized like power is still no power, and I just started like walking up the street, and then I see other people walking up the street,
right.
And then I see there is like a bodega they also don't have power, but they have like a hot water and like a thermos or whatever, like thermos. And they give like they're giving out coffee and hot water, and they're saying like, oh, above 30th Street there is power, so like keep walking. And then I kept walking. Actually, but it was kind of scary, but like you very quickly figure out. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and people share with each other. Like we assume that everything will happen like in this like movies of apocalyptic time where people are just really aggressive, but I believe that people won't be aggressive so much. I think people will have that depends on the people, depends on the city, I guess, depends on the environment, but I believe there will be people who will be kind to each other and helpful, and we can't just like hope for the best. Like I think it's about training. It's actually about having these kind of conversations and not being afraid of these scenarios, and knowing that we need to be kind with each other, and we need to it's better, it's actually easier to survive when we're in collaboration than we're in dispute.
Yeah, and that's why when earlier and like way earlier we were saying about the shows that like the stories that are coming out about people losing their humanity. I think people make those stories to kind of show like what not to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's just like trying to say like, hey, like listen, this would be the worst kind of thing. So like you better
learn
learn
to
from this and understand that. And I think not everyone. Some people probably again depends on the person, but we can't really predict how anyone's going to behave. But I think a really big percentage of people looks at that and they're like, oh well, I wouldn't do that. I would be different.
Yeah.
I would help people.
Yeah. And remember again, like these scenarios of exchanges. If that happens, really, then we would have no choice but not use the money, because we wouldn't be able to work anymore the way that we did. So we would, and then we'll also potentially not have access to our funds. And the
Oh yeah,
money
definitely.
itself wouldn't have the same value it has now, because the actual value would be actually water, right? That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Water and food items, electricity to charge and to connect with our loved ones. I mean, one way or not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to like overdo it in thinking, but generally, I just believe that that's when we realize that neither crypto can help us, nor money systems. There will be no way to control people if this kind of things do happen, simply because there will be a greater fear than going to jail, the greater fear of actually making it.
Yeah. And I think people adapt really fast to whatever it is
Mm-hmm.
that we're faced with.
Yeah, I think
I
so
don't know.
too.
I can just speak for myself. I believe in myself. I don't like spend
Mm-hmm.
too much time very specifically preparing for something to happen, but I just know that if something were to happen, I would have.
You have the skills,
You know,
the adaptability to be able to, yeah,
I would know
figure
what
it
to
out.
do in the moment. I think.
Yeah,
I think. I hope I'm
that's
realistic.
it. I
I
believe you. I believe in it. And another thing is like what would be the most important skills to have? I think the most important skill, one of the most important skill would be still okay, yeah, sure, adaptability and like just spiritual strength to go through this difficult situation. But the second one is yeah, the communications and
Yeah,
ability.
I think I was gonna say people skills.
Yes, people
Or just
skills.
more
That's
general.
it. But
It's
that's
communication
the
and
biggest
also,
one. Yeah, the work. In the work when you're getting hired, they want you to have people skills. Like, yeah, first.
it's like when I was working in group, they had this. I think I told you they had. I don't even remember. Oh, the collaborative way it was called. There was this book. I don't know. It's kind of silly, but there are some good ideas in it. And I remember the two. There's like 5 points of, how to be. And the two that I remember that I think are really good is listening generously and speaking straight.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And I think these are like basically like it's already like 50% of good people skills. It's
Yeah.
listening generously and speaking straight.
Yeah, it helps. Yeah, these two.
Because that's what people appreciate, as long as you like hear them and then you respond in a straightforward way. That's already half the battle.
Yeah. True. And another thing I just want to share with you, that when I go to Lisbon, I don't have an internet in my home. And it's quite interesting because, okay, I'm dependent on my phone mobile data, and so I have to buy a card. I'm very, how would I say, um, I'm very modest with the amount of time I spend online, even from my phone. I definitely don't really expose myself to videos, mostly voice, just because it's less data used. And I definitely don't upload anything. And that's very nice because, yeah, like that way, I know that, I'm not going to be over posting anything like that.
Yeah.
And it's super nice and healthy. And whenever I'm there, and that home specifically, I just made that home for me specifically in that purpose, because when I was renting that place, it didn't come with Wi-Fi. I set up one for with a modem, with like a portable modem for 1 month. That it had like a free plan for 1 month, and then I stopped paying for it, and it was like the best decision, to be honest, because when I'm there, I feel very healthy, actually, super healthy. Like, my mental health is like in a completely different state, and because I don't have access to it, I don't want it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, it's not like I'm thinking about it all the time. Like, what would be nice, and to watch like another video by Palina or something, a little bit of addiction there.
Yeah, see, you're already adapting.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. That like you were like, yeah, it's very nice. I like, thank you for sharing, because it's very like it's a good example of how something you thought was important, like once you don't have it, like
it's
maybe
fine.
uncomfortable for a little bit, but then very quickly it becomes normal.
But I have to say, I miss music, like streaming music. So one of the things I would do is creating a library of music on your devices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one thing I would
that's
be.
a good point.
And another thing is maybe like just thinking about what would the entertainment be if we can download all the videos in the world. What kind of like thing that we would like to come back to? Like back in the 90s, they had well we had cassettes, and we weren't able to have like many cassettes because they take so much space. But so we would rewatch videos. So the question
Oh
is like
yeah.
which videos we'd like to rewatch, which content we'd like to be exposed to in maybe a couple of times. What would be the vibes?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, we on Eric's computer we have quite a lot of movies and like
Cool.
shows downloaded that we like.
Good
That
times.
we know that, and some music we need to get more. We're still pretty dependent on streaming for
Yes,
music,
me too.
but we have some, and we could probably get more. You know, you can get it all. It's not super legal, but
Yeah,
it's fun.
yeah. In Garbushka, remember Garbushka?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they sell the flash drives with all of that. Сборники.
But you don't even have to buy it. You know, you can.
Yeah, but you know.
Get it all.
But you know,
Like,
they have it
why-
ready,
why-
pre-packed.
Yeah.
I thought that was smart. They sold me a SIM card in Garbushka, and they told me it was 500 rublей. And then they said you should put 100 more so that activates. And then I put 100 more on the account, and no, forget about it. It doesn't work. So I've been lied to on Garbushka. Not a good experience. Just so I don't know if those like SIM card or that was these flash drives with all the like thousands of movies would actually have all these thousands of but they have a few. Then you scroll down, do you see that it's just like same movie or something. That people's factor and like the desire to lie in specifically in trade is fascinatingly common still, which is very sad. It's similar to what greenwashing is in fashion. And they're not lying to the public as much, they're lying to themselves even. They like make things up that are, oh yeah, sure, if I'm this fashion brand, it means that I'm, and then I'm doing things like right, quote unquote, that means I'm doing good for the planet. But again, the planet doesn't need to be doing good for her. I think it's just like a completely different way. I believe what you're doing is one of the most amazing like things you can come up with in terms of how to actually improve fashion industry and earn a living.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people like me. You know, that's why I like it's actually like I like this whole movement, I guess, because I didn't film anything that day when I was going to the outlet.
Yeah, you didn't find.
Huh?
You didn't find much.
No, we
Oh, you
found
did?
we were going together over there, and we found some good stuff, but it was like really busy because it was a holiday in America.
I see.
Martin Luther King Day.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people there, like a lot more than usual. And it was just very like I just didn't feel very comfortable filming because when it's a lot of people, there's people there who film, but that day it was just I don't know, it was not the right vibe. But I go there often, and I'm actually planning on going to the one here on Monday, so maybe I can do
good times. It's gonna be more summertime, summer merch.
Yes.
Amazing. But please film.
So
I'd like to see it. Just something.
Yeah, I'll just do So hopefully, it's just unusually busy because it was like holiday. But
I see.
I'll try to film some here. If not, I go to the Denver one quite often at this point. It's really interesting.
It works for you. Yeah.
It's truly and it's truly like you know this is the last stop of that merchandise before it just goes
where
before it's thrown away
to Africa.
destroyed.
It's such a dark topic. Yeah, generally, like what is really happening with all this stuff. Yeah.
So at least the people like me at least are doing kind of like, of course, not everything. There's still a ton.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're, saving the earth, but at least it's something. At least it chips away.
It
Like, yeah, probably more so than all the greenwashing
totally
of the eco
100%.
brands. Yeah.
100%. And I think about this a lot in terms of like, okay, what I don't need anything right now new in my wardrobe, really. I don't at all. And I'm not, I'm not the kind of person that will be like, oh, I just need to go shopping. But at least I know that what I have, I don't feel like reselling at all. Like I don't I have this such deep feeling of ownership of these things and feeling like they're part of my body that I don't feel like reselling. That's one point. Then the second point is that I wonder, like, okay, if I do want a new item, would I want a completely new item or would I want the second hand? And I first thing that comes to my mind doesn't really matter unless the item is nice and clean. But the third thing is I don't know if the style, like I don't know, like I would like to see more creativity in our industry. I think we are pushing so much boundaries in terms of, okay, there's like digital designs, and all this like really small and niche actually digital fashion, but we're completely forgetting how to operate with fabrics that we already have and be able to do some fun things. I'm not exposed to these designers. Maybe I just haven't searched specifically for upcycle designers, but I think there's so much opportunity to create really cool, amazing, beautiful items, from the existing ones to yeah, just construct something new. The aesthetic is not really
Yeah, I
fashionable
mean, I
yet.
agree. That's not enough of it. There are some
Mhm.
people who are doing it, but the thing is, like, yeah, everything moves so fast. Like, it's actually crazy. Like, yeah, on one hand, it feels like there's nothing really new in fashion, but then on the other hand, it's like there's so many like micro trends.
What do you think about digital fashion, really, right now?
I think nobody's really interested in it.
Yeah, somebody is. I mean, there are
Depends on
still
what
like
you mean by
networks,
digital fashion,
like
because
wearing something
there's
on your social
certainly
media, having these things like as social media outfits.
nobody's interested in that.
Yeah.
Like, maybe there's people interested in like avatars for games. Like, I can see how there's like specifically like very young people, kids who
Yeah,
are
yeah, yeah. Like
who are
roadblocks,
doing
12-year-olds.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, that kind of thing. Um, but even that, I think
You
it's
grow
just
out
like
of
it's
it.
the same as yeah, exactly. Like we were playing with dolls,
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
We grew out of it in the same way they will. But that's the extent of digital. Like, I think that's the only digital fashion thing that is working that anybody is spending any money on. Is this is the yeah? What was it? Blocks. What is blanking? You just said it.
Um.
Roblox.
Yeah.
Roblox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's like
But
I
it's
hear
mostly
it's
like
12 year
really young
olds.
kids who
Yeah, yeah,
play
yeah.
this. Yeah.
Like up to 12 actually. And I remember hearing parents of these children saying to me, sharing that yes, like these, they're really asking for it, like $8 per an item, and they're really happy. It makes them very happy. And I remember, okay, like yeah, sure, I played Sims. I played a little bit of Barbie dolls, maybe dress up, but maybe twice. It wasn't engaging. Maybe it's just because these games are more engaging. It's just better fun, because of the yeah, there are real people involved in it. So maybe they're just having more fun there. But they grew up of this.
Probably,
They
but
do.
if they
Once their
started out
sexual
of it,
energy starts to really like be out there, they'd like to meet people in person and touch each other. Excuse me, but it's just simple as that. And nobody will care so much about the digital fashion. But I'm really, really I don't want to get angry, but I'm really working on myself. Like I try not to be angry, and like super critical. But I think I want to keep my criticism, but not the angry part. But I see these grown-ups, like our age, promoting digital fashion, and I'm questioning this. Like, why do you want to do you want to dress yourself up in these digital things? No, because nobody's really interested in social media in the form it is now. So why are you doing it? Well, because it's a hype and it can make them money, like just like NFTs. But NFTs are a hype, or sorry, a trend, a fad. So it's obviously it's done. I just was looking at certain websites and they're already down. Like they paid for
Oh
a
wow.
year. They paid for a year for hosting and they didn't continue it. And then the same with like certain DAO projects that they had like reports from the beginning of it and then they stopped. And then I see posts on social media also stopped. So people are right, or actually young people are right. They're talking about this as like, oh yeah, we think that a lot of these projects will be abandoned. It's true. And these GPD, like
Yeah.
the pictures will be not available anymore because the hosting wouldn't be paid for anymore, and nobody would, yeah, be able to like, pay a subscription to a website that doesn't really do any work anymore.
Yeah, a lot of it is just straight up fraud.
Yeah,
Because people
that's how it is.
would try to make money, like maybe made a little bit, it didn't really work. But also, like, I think, like you said, people who are promoting digital fashion are, like you said, lying to themselves.
Yeah,
Like it's greenwashing
that's
themselves.
why
Like, oh, it's
exactly.
good.
Yeah, the
It's
greenwashing
good for
themselves.
the environment because there's no production. Well,
But it doesn't
yeah,
serve the
but
same purpose as the physical item. Excuse me, like I can't really
yeah,
feel warm with
yeah,
it. And it's lying to themselves. And again, when I was in these groups, in these spaces, and I did raise my voice a little bit about it, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear the truth. They know it's truth. just they'd rather just remove me and like put like, these like thumbs down on me, and just remove me from the group, and then remove me from their feed, block my account just because I said something that they didn't want to hear yet.
yeah. It's sadly.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, but okay, I we will wrap it up I guess soon, but I wanted to ask you, like, what do you think is the simplest thing one can do right now in terms of I guess business plan, that will support people, and doesn't matter if it's like locals and or not. I just want to support people who would be seeing that this product or the solution, the service is valuable. Like, what would be something that you think would be? I don't know. It's like a big question. I mean, I'm still unclear. It's like association, maybe.
Well, I still think it's a good idea for you to go just because it seems like it's like aligned with your experience to do fashion.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And the simplest idea, it seems like you are interested in, upcycling. So maybe like a
Mm-hmm.
kind of, yeah, and even if you don't, even just like a secondhand like boutique where you just have people donate clothes and well, donate or just buy
Mm-hmm.
used clothes from people and then like repurpose it, like maybe rework, redesign it.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
way, you can work with local, makers like
yeah. That's simple as that. That's
uh,
true.
yeah, designers like sewing people or plus um, yeah, just that kind of thing. You buy like yeah, you can buy used clothing from people, so that already helps the economy, and then like repurpose
Yeah,
it, resell it as something new. Um,
that's
I
it.
mean that's very simple. I don't know if that's not technological at all. So I know you said they were looking for tech
But like again,
businesses, so maybe that's helpful.
if you offer one tech aspect of it is that you can accept crypto payments. It's not so easy to implement, but it's possible just to have like that point there. Again, we don't know how crypto is going to be in generally in the future, but having that aspect of things, kind of targeting the big amount of people who are crypto people in the city. But the problem with these people, they like new stuff. They don't have that, like these crypto people. They don't have that care and passion for first fashion or second sustainability. So yeah, it's the people who are interested in crypto are not interested in say okay, cool upcycled fashion, and people who are interested in cool upcycled fashion really don't believe in crypto.
Yeah, well, like me.
Yeah,
I
so
know that second
right,
part.
so it's a little bit of a miscontact, but
Yeah.
but it's okay. I'll find a way to make it like techy, I guess, sexy enough for the even if it's like but that's why I don't want to do it like, oh yeah, this is digital fashion, you know, whatever, like you have an AR or something, because it's just gonna be stupid. Like obviously I'm not believing in that, and like again, why would I do something with crypto if I don't believe in that way as well? So that's the question, and we'll
Well,
see.
maybe you can make it a DAO. I don't know.
Yeah,
Because a DAO is kind of
right,
like
it's kind of
cooperative,
crypto.
you know?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
true. Okay, you're right. You're right. Like having a pool. So whatever, like whoever sells something, whoever sells their like their items to the store,
Mm-hmm.
I would give them back cash. But then if they want to I mean, if the clients want to pay in crypto, okay, they can. And then the third thing would be the DAO part is that some part of the income of the store will go to a DAO pool to support and so for the community people who bring clothing for free and don't get many money from it, they can have a pool to tap into. Even if it's crypto, it means that they still can tap into it and then transfer it to their money. You know, it's like
Oh,
you
there
don't
you
have to
go.
use
Yeah,
crypto in
yeah,
order to. It's just going to be
yeah.
stored in
Mm-hmm.
that currency.
That's what I meant by it make it a DAO. I guess, yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
perfect. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We'll
You
see.
said it.
But that means that I still need to be there, I guess, in person. But it's not because I can, maybe hire someone who would be there. The
Well,
problem
don't you
with
want to be there?
no,